Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with Primal, the episode Heart of the Undead. And this episode, we have Spear finally realizing who he is, or I should say, Zombie Spear realizing who he was. And that was very unfortunate in this episode for him to regain those memories because the villagers treated him like he was Frankenstein. I mean, they threw rocks at him, they threw spears at him, they attacked him, they chased him out of the village, and what was most heartbreaking of all was watching Fang just growl and snarl at Spear and not remember who he is or not trust him. It kind of reminds me of a person just being around people that they love or their friends and their family and their peers and everyone just hating them. And that has to be so devastating for Spear to be going through. And that sequence when he's looking into the waterfall, looking at who he is now compared to who he actually was, and the disgust and the disdain and the heartbreak in this man's eyes. And I'm still gonna call him a man. I'm still gonna call him Spear. I know a lot of people think we should differentiate Spear that we knew from this zombie Spear, but I think it's just easier to call him Spear. And now that he has his memories back, I'll stick to calling him Spear. And that scene with the waterfalls and he's just dooming and glooming and becoming Calamity Spear like always, you know, he gets to rumble and tumble into some trouble, and at the end of the episode he kind of ran into some big trouble with these other beings. But that's par for the course of the series. You know, Spear has to get a few minutes, take a deep breath and relax, and then get back into some crazy unforeseen action. But this episode really explored a lot of themes of loneliness and separation, and it really goes to show how real Mira is. But we knew that from the very beginning. We knew Mira was a real one, but this episode in particular, I think, really showcases her character, her strength, not only physical strength, but her mental strength, and the fact that she's willing to go and do anything to see Spear again and to be around him, even though she has everyone telling her not to, including Fang telling her not to. The dirty looks she was giving Fang. Well, you know what? I won't say dirty looks. I'll say more determined looks she was giving Fang. Basically telling her there's nothing you can say or do. I'm going after this man, the father of my child, even with a busted ankle, a busted leg. Because obviously last episode there was craziness when they were fighting those demon pigs and all that, but she was still on the road trying to go get Spear. And I think we all could use a Mira in our lives. I'm not saying Mira going through all this stress and trouble while she's pregnant is an ideal thing, but the fact that she's willing to do it and stand on her own 2 feet to make it happen just shows you how great of a person she is. And the fact that Spear was willing to go to the village and push through, and even though they were kicking him out like he was Frankenstein, like he was a monster, like a beast that didn't belong, he was still trying to get to see Mira and his baby. So he also has other people on his side. He just doesn't know it yet. You know, he has Fang's kids, and I think Fang is starting to realize that this is someone important to Mira. And I'm not exactly sure if Fang knows that this is Spear and doesn't trust it because he's dead and he's a walking corpse and she can smell the death on him and, you know, animal instincts kicking in, or if she just doesn't know that this is him yet. But hopefully we get to see in the next episode. This episode was kind of low on the action, more kind of a transition episode from what happened last week with all the action and fights and the aftermath of all the violence and the suspense, which, again, I'll say it again in this episode review, I feel like the suspense when it comes to Mira and the baby is kind of not there because we know from the ending of season 2, the flash forward, that they do survive. So we know they're not gonna go anywhere, but there's still a lot to be discovered and explored throughout the series. This is season 3 at least. And this is going to be the final season, so we'll see what happens. But let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode. Were you into this little slower paced transition episode? Do you find Mira to be a real one? I know you do. And let me know what you think is going to happen in the next episode when Fear spaces off against these random dudes that of course want to kill him because he's Spear and he has to be in some type of turbulent situation. Even though he's a walking corpse and everyone hates him, he's got these random people hating him. He's got the people that he wants to be around, like Fang and the villagers hating him. I mean, What more hell can this man go through, Genndy? You tell me. But like, comment, subscribe.